You know how when you see something really stupid, and it affects you so greatly you spend the next 8 years wanting to make a video about it? Well, here we are. This script has been cooking in my mind for almost a decade, so get ready, I'm gonna tell you about Sword Art Online. Our story begins in Oslo, Norway. I'm kidding, it's an anime. We're in Japan, where we meet our protagonist, Kazuto Kirigaya, or referred to from now on by his online alias, Kirito, which he got by combining parts of the two names. Surprisingly, this is exactly how I got my online alias. From my name, Boistofer Uleinen. Kirito is enjoying a video on the release of the most anticipated game yet, Sword Art Online. Here's the lead developer of the game. He wears a lab coat in case some code spills out of his round bottom compiler. As the clock ticks closer to release time, Kirito brandishes his nerd helmet and prepares to log in. The helmet is essentially a VR interface that allows your brain to interact with the game. Is it safe? Yeah, it should be fine. He logs in and somehow the servers work and don't immediately crash. It's like they did a beta test or something. Any developers watching, you better be writing this down, this is sci-fi shit. We're introduced to the medieval fantasy world of Aincrad, where we see players already questing some catgirls, browsing the bazaar, and Kirito sprinting through. A noob notices his confident stride and approaches him. This is Klein. He was at the launch event. Klein is completely new to the whole VR thing, so he begs Kirito to teach him the basics. We learn that Kirito was a beta tester, so he knows his way around the game. Reluctantly, Kirito agrees to help the man out. A couple of boar fights and an introduction to MMORPGs later, Klein says he's got a pizza on the way and goes to log off. But wait! Whoa, where's the logout button? One panic attack later, everybody gets teleported to the town Square, where a game master arrives to make an announcement. And by arrives, I mean turns the sky red and fucking, oozes out of the cracks. They really programmed and animated this. There was a scrum meeting about adding this to the game. It turns out this is the dork with the lab coat from earlier. He tells them, get fucked, I tricked you, you're trapped, and...
If your HP drops to 0, your avatar will be deleted from the system. Forever. And the nerve gear will simultaneously destroy your brain.
Oh no, the brain injector helmet wasn't safe at all. Basically, you die in the game, you die in real life. The only way out is to play through all 100 floors, defeating the boss on each floor to progress. He also changes everyone's character to what they look like IRL. I'm not sure why. I think he just did it because it would be funny to watch 5,000 catgirls suddenly turn into 40-year-old fat fucks. These two guys are straight up pedophiles, by the way.
Right now, you're probably wondering why. Why would Akihiko Kayaba, developer of Sword Art Online and Nerve Gear, do this?
Who the fuck talks like that, dude? What a fucking dweeb. Basically, he just wants to play God. That's all he's giving us. That's why he did this. I'm sure we'll find out more about his motives later. Kirito grabs his new boy toy and books it.
In an MMORPG, the money you can earn, the XP, once the game starts up, there's only so much of that stuff to go around.
What? No. Why? Anyway, Klein leaves the party to meet up with his mukbang clan, and Kirito fucks off to the next village, embarking on his adventure as a badass lone wolf solo boy. We skip forward a month to learn that they still haven't beaten floor 1 yet. In a month? Did they get Matt K to design this game? Anyway, a meeting is called and Dorky McDorkface takes the stage. By the way, didn't everyone get changed to what they look like IRL? This guy really rocking the blue Sephiroth bangs with matching eyebrows? Is this guy a Twitch streamer? It turns out they have found the boss room, and it's time to party up for raid day tomorrow. Oh no, who will our outcast join forces with? Oh, never mind, there's a convenient love interest right here. Just a gamer girl being approached by nobody? This is Asuna, she's one of the main characters. Okay, good. Settled. And then Pineapple Peter shows up. He's pissed off that the beta testers took the best grinding spots and didn't share that info with new players. Everybody seems to agree until the black guy of the anime squares up and reveals that they actually did. Okay, I'm glad that got cleared up. I'm sure this won't come up again later for no reason. Cut to the evening where we find Kirito ready to make a move or two on Asuna. The next day, everyone heads into the raid and pulls the boss. Kirito is a super badass main character and Asuna is a super badass main character, but Pantone Percy over here is not the main character, and he fucking dies. Oh no, never mind, it's fine. Kirito's gonna give him a phoenix down and...
You were a beta tester too, weren't you?
What are you doing?
You were after the last attack bonus, the rare item.
The rare item? Take the potion!
You have to defeat the boss.
Yeah, but heal up though.
For everyone here.
Drink the potion though. Hello? He's gone. Well, anyway, they kill the boss, Kirito gets an awesome coat, and everyone is very jubilant. Except for Dury and Daniel over there, he's got something to say.
Admit it. You knew the technique the boss was gonna use. You could have told us. Then Diablo would have stood a chance. He wouldn't have had to die.
No fucking way are they gonna blame Kirito.
I know why he knew. He used to be a beta tester.
They're blaming Kirito.
Hey, calm down.
Yeah, they already went over this yesterday.
So you guys think I used to be a beta tester? It's not cool to put me in the same class with those noobs. During the beta, I made it to floors that were higher than any of the other testers.
Didn't he get to floor 8? How many of those testers were journalists?
I know a bunch of other things too. More than you can imagine.
No, I don't know why he's a villain now.
He's a beta tester and a cheater. He's a beater.
A beater? Yeah, that's good. I like it.
No, why do you like beater? That's not something, that's like a Germa joke. Yeah, everybody's stunned. Me too. I have no idea why he did this. I've seen this show 3 times now. Why did he do this? By the way, check out Asuna's single titty armor.
When we were fighting the boss, you called me by my name. How'd you even know it?
You'll see another HP gauge under yours. There's a name written right next to it, yeah?
Fucking females can't even read a party list. Also, how is she not weirded out that Kirito's like a fucking psychopath? 4 months later, we see Kirito getting crunk with a small guild, the Moonlit Black Cats. Apparently, our main man saved them at somewhere from something. Would have been cool to see it, but this is what we got. One of them asks Kirito what his level is, and he lies. I don't know why, maybe he's scared that they'll make fun of him for being a beta tester again. I don't know. Should be fine though. Anyway, he joins their guild. They go into a dungeon they're under-leveled for. Kirito doesn't warn them because he's pretending to be a noob. And all of them die. And then he goes and tells the guild leader about it, and he fucking kills himself. Nice one, Peter. Also, these two had like a moment, or whatever the fuck you'd call this. That's gonna be vaguely important shortly. Get used to every single female character getting wicked frothy in the loins whenever Kirito is around. God, I wish I was him. 9 months later, we meet up with our main man again on the 49th floor of what I do believe is the Winter Market in Tallinn, Estonia. I also stole the square for a video game once. Kirito is chatting with an info broker, trying to find out the location of a Christmas event boss. He already knows where it is though, so he heard a rumor that the boss has an interesting drop, an item that can bring dead players back to life, and he wants to use it on his cutie from earlier. Now you might be thinking, wait, wasn't it supposed to fry their brains when they died? Yeah. Anyway, Kirito gears up and heads out to either throw down or get thrown down. Luckily Klein and his Dingus Force followed him there, but watch out, Klein was also followed.
It's the Holy Dragon Alliance.
They'll do anything for a rare item, no matter how shady.
Look at this guy, what the fuck? You good, man? You smoke a Raynar before coming out here? So Klein and his Batty boys are gonna hold them off so that Kirito can go do the boss. This guy is using a saucepan he found in a tavern as a shield, so I'm sure it'll be fine. We make it to the giant tree, and here's the big guy himself. He has also been hitting that old Toby before coming out. Kirito defeats him so easily that they don't even show the fight, and he returns to Klein. Turns out the item must be used within 10 seconds of someone dying. Which, I mean, yeah, the brain zap thing? Hello?
If someone dies in front of you someday, make sure you use it.
Remember this line. I'm gonna quiz you about this later, you better remember. So Kirito sulks back to his Meriton Old Town Garden Hotel for 65 euros a night, and finds out the bird from earlier left him a voice message for Christmas. This is wicked sad. Too bad I'm making a funny video, so I'm not gonna talk about it. Hello, welcome to the next episode. And you know what that means, time for a new love interest. This is Silica. She's getting bullied out of her items by a mean girl. And after the opening, she's getting bullied out of her life by a group of monkeys with really nice asses. Her fox, dog, dragon, bird guy Pina takes a fatal hit protecting her and turns into a colada. But Kirito arrives just in time to be a super badass. Don't worry though, because this is a video game and you can revive your pets at a specific location and our hero can take her there.
On the south side of floor 47.
South side of floor 47. Watch out, that's a rough neighborhood. Common sense is from there.
Why would you do all this for me?
It's because you look like my little sister.
No, she doesn't. I'll crack a couple of jokes about Kirito's sister later, and it'll all make sense then, but no, she fucking doesn't. On their way over there, they run into some of her friends. These are the pedophiles, by the way, from episode 1. Stay safe online, kids.
They don't take me seriously. They want me to be their mascot.
That's not what they want. They also run into her party from earlier, and this bitch is being mean to her again. We also get some exposition about player killers. Yes, in this death game, there are some who murder other players. See, this is what happens when you remove the wilderness. Basically, good boys have a green arrow, bad boys have a yellow one, and murderers have a red one. We get some quote-unquote bedroom moments shared between these two, which I'm gonna gloss over, because she is 13. Anyway, Kirito notices a guy spying on them, but he runs away, so it was probably just another pedophile. The next day they arrive at the park where the Resurrect flower is at, and Silica gets grabbed by an Ochu and it tries to tentacle rape her. Okay, I think it's time. Who directed this shit? This guy? Yeah, here. Have a weirdo medal. Let's see how many you can collect. Anyway, 2 minutes later, Silica steps on some sort of trap, and a tongue penis monster grabs her and starts slobbering her. They get to the flower and they grab it and they leave. Let's get the fuck out of this episode. But wait, surprise, it's that one bitch from earlier. Apparently, she's part of a player killing guild, and her job is to lure people to get robbed. And she did so to another group 10 days ago, whom our man Kirito is now here to avenge.
So what if we kill someone here? There's no proof dying here means you're dead IRL.
Wait, yeah, brain zaps? Fucking helmet microwaves? She's got a point. Anyway, a bunch of goons start oozing out of the trees and they're looking to throw down.
Kirito!
Dressed in black, one-handed, no shield. Holy crap, it's the Black Swordsman!
I'm currently flipping through the Berserk manga. See, the joke is that Guts from Berserk is referred to as the Black Swordsman. And that's funny because Kirito is a fucking twink compared to Guts. Yep, everyone who has talked about Sword Art Online has made this joke, so I have to do it too. Follow me on TikTok for more plagiarism. So the baddies charge Kirito, but he can passively heal faster than they can do damage. Because of course he does, he's an anime protagonist.
410 seconds, give or take. That's about the total damage the 7 of you can inflict on me.
They can inflict 410 seconds of damage? Kirito, what the fuck are you talking about?
If your numbers are high enough, you're invincible. MMOs that use leveling systems are unfair that way.
What? Anyway, he sends them to jail and everyone claps. He apologizes to Silica for using her as bait, they resurrect Pina, and who cares, next episode.
We should meet up in the real world.
No you should not.
Okay.
Anyway, we need to get the video going, so I'm just gonna rat-tat-tat-tat through the next few episodes. Hey look, here's Asuna again. She's become like a badass leader thing and second in command in the strongest guild in the game. While having dinner, they discuss how safe zones work for like player killing and shit. Suddenly, oh heck, look, someone died in a safe zone. This starts a whole like detective spiel where they try to find out who done did it, how they done did it. I'll put an Among Us character on the screen as well.
Here.
What, is that for me?
Well, what do you think I'm doing? Showing it off?
Dude, that's funny. So it turns out it was all faked and orchestrated by these guys to figure out who killed their guildmate. And it's a whole ordeal, it's not important. What is important is what Kirito and Asuna see afterwards. It's the fucking ghost of the dead player. This establishes that the game is programmed to allow ghosts of players to exist. Believe it or not, this will be important later, and I'm gonna get real angry about it. I might even call this show a shitload of fuck, like that one guy. What's his name? Nintendo Man? Alright, let's bust a nut through episode 7 as well. New love interest, Lisbeth. She's a blacksmith. Kirito wants a new sword, but all her swords suck ass. They travel to a snow biome to get some rare ore that a dragon shits out. They get the ore, they joyride a dragon, and Lisbeth falls in love with Kirito. She forges him a new awesome sword. It's so cool. Then she finds out him and Asuna are a thing now, maybe a little kind of, not really, and gets sad. Thanks for watching episode 7. Okay, we're close to finally entering the Asuna era, so we can stop introducing female characters for no reason. They're gonna fall in love, buy a house, have a child. Anyway, it's been 2 years since the game started and we join Kirito walking through a forest. He spots a cute little rabbit and fucking kills it. What an asshole. It's actually a rare ingredient, and unfortunately, you need someone with a high cooking skill to prepare it. Oh hey, what are the odds there's someone with a high cooking skill? Also this slimeball. He's like a bodyguard or something for Asuna. We'll call him Jed. Like that other slimeball. She agrees to cook the bunny and they fuck off to her place.
I'm sorry, ma'am, but I can't allow you to go home with such a shady character.
He does have a point. He makes fun of Kirito for being a beta tester. I don't know why that's still a thing after 2 years, but alright, whatever. Asuna tells him to get bent and they leave. They have a date night and it's cute and who cares. That's not what we're interested in. What we're interested in is the next day when Asuna stumbles into Kirito and he grabs her titty! Where are the fucking medals? Here you go, man, another one for the collection. Sexual assault this time around, 2 minors. Anyway, they want to go run a dungeon or something, but Majed is being a creep and won't let her go, so he challenges Kirito to a duel.
I'm going to prove beyond any doubt that I am the only one who can protect you.
Dude, it is Majed. So, obviously, he loses horribly, because he's not the main character. Should have leaked his IP to Adidas or something, maybe then he could have won. He teleports away emasculated, and Asuna collapses, pretending that she was the one who just dueled so that she can become the center of attention again. Fucking female gamers. Also, there's this shady guy in the crowd who witnessed all of this, and he has a Reign of Terror tattoo on his hand, but I'm sure it's nothing. They go fuck around in the dungeon and they happen to find the boss room. They decide to take a peek inside to get some info on the boss, and they're met by this really big boy. They book it out of there, and while discussing strategy, Asuna brings something up.
The biggest advantage of using a one-handed sword is you can also use a shield. But you know what? I don't think I've ever seen you using one.
That's a good point. I hope the reason isn't because he's a super special, awesome main character that's hiding his true power. That sure would suck, and nobody would write a character like that. Hey look, there's Klein to save us from that awful foreshadowing. He shoots hot cum all over his underwear because he sees a girl, but also, these guys roll up. They're like milsim guys or something. You know when you're playing Arma and you see a guy that's like way too into it? They're not particularly good at the game, so it's weird that they're here, but they want the map of the area and Kirito gives it to them. Everybody is kind of worried that they might attempt the boss, and nobody doubts that they would get absolutely destroyed. So they agree to keep an eye on them. And then they don't. Yeah, somehow they get past and enter the boss room. I don't know. So they're in there getting their shit pushed in, and the leader guy dies.
I can't believe it.
Yeah, I also can't believe that you'd try a floor 74 boss in vendor gear, but alright. So the gang runs in to help the rest of the guild. They distract the boss and start dragging the yobos out. But at one point, Kirito realizes, oh wait, I'm a super special awesome main character, and I could stop hiding my true power and solo this very difficult boss. Surprise, Kirito can dual wield, and he kills it. He solos a floor 74 boss. God, I wish I was like him.
It's an extra skill I picked up. Dual wielding.
Guess it's exclusive to you. Hey, you got a unique skill.
I'm gonna cry. He couldn't just be good at video games. He had to have like a special account that can learn fucking hidden skills. Fuck you, man.
About 6 months ago, I was scrolling through my skill menu, and it was just there.
He didn't even learn it? It just appeared? Ay. Anyway, Asuna wants to take time off her guild to go on like dates and shit, but that won't be easy because...
If you can defeat me in combat, you'll be free to take Asuna with you.
Oh my god, what the fuck, why? Why are we like wasting time with these duels? The only way someone can win against Kirito is if they cheat.
His invincibility is way beyond the normal game balance.
Huh.
I didn't think this would be such a big deal. This is crazy.
Maybe I can get a cut of the tickets?
No.
No. Anyway, yeah, Kirito loses, so he's forced to join the guild.
No, this is a good opportunity. As a solo player, I got as far as I could go.
Oh, okay, I guess the limit for a solo player is single-handedly defeating a floor 74 raid boss. Kirito is forced into like an onboarding training party, and they're gonna go run a dungeon. But surprise, Ma Jed is coming with them. The leaderman wants to see how they perform under pressure or something, so he demands that they hand over their teleport crystals. That's a great fucking idea in a goddamn permadeath game, and I'm sure it will be fine. Have you noticed how every time I've said it's gonna be fine, it isn't fine? On the way to the dungeon, they take a break and have some food. But what's this? The food was poisoned and it leaves them paralyzed. It turns out Ma Jed is evil and is actually part of a player-killing clan. Who could have seen that coming? He kills this guy and is about to kill Kirito, but Asuna shows up for whatever reason and they kill him and that's that.
God damn you, you murdered me.
What? Dude, I'm stealing that. If someone ever kills me, these will be my last words. Also, they give each other cooties and now we can go balls deep into the Asuna arc. What's wrong? You don't want to see a 15-year-old undressing? I had to watch this, so you do too. Turns out Kirito has a headache and he doesn't want to fuck. Asuna attacks him, but luckily Kirito is male, so he overpowers her and fucking tucks her in. He also proposes to her on their, second date? That's kinda weird. Don't do that. So, after the Ma Jed incident, they actually let Asuna and Kirito take some time off, and they go buy a home. Wow, a young couple owning property, this really is a fantasy world. Also, I do believe they sleep in separate beds, so marriage appears to be going well. Look at this squirrel! It looks like an alien! Ew! One day, when out for a walk, they run into a little girl. She can't remember fuck or shit, so they're gonna spend some time trying to find out who the hell this is. Hopefully they can find her parents and get her home.
How about you call me whatever's easier for you?
Daddy.
Ugh.
Mommy.
Ah! So they go to the first town everyone started at to look around, and they run into some of those Milsim guys again, harassing some children.
They just want your money, so give it to them and it'll be okay. We tried, Teach, but they said it's not good enough.
Ay, dude, can we go 10 fucking minutes without encountering a pedophile in this goddamn game? So Kirito and Asuna pull up, and the Milsim guys are like, what the fuck, why does that guy have a child? Is he one of us? Quick, check his Twitter. Has he been trying to weasel his way into the LGBT community? Asuna slaps this guy around a bit and they flee, and we're introduced to... I don't know who this is. She runs an orphanage, because, yeah, a lot of young children got trapped in SAO as well. I don't know what kind of a parent let their 6-year-old into a fucking full-dive brainwave MMO. In Europe we have laws against that. Anyway, no leads here. They meet this lady that's part of the Milsim Army Guild. They go to a dungeon to do a side quest for her, and they get into a rough battle with this Reaper bloke. After getting knocked around for a bit, Yui walks forth and, like, fucking deletes it. Wow. So it turns out Yui is an AI created to offer psychological help to players, in a game that was created to cause psychological harm to players. Anyway, the system sees her as malicious code and quarantines her, so that's the end of that.
If I'm fast enough, I might be able to use the GM's account to access the system.
You what? Aren't you like 14? Where did you learn the scripting language? How do you even...
The only thing I could do was take her program and turn it into a game object.
Get the fuck out of here.
If the game does get cleared and this world ends, what's going to happen to Yui?
I fixed it so her data will be saved to the local memory on my nerve gear.
Get the fuck out of here.
We'll see her when we get back. Our first child.
Get the fuck out of here. So they get called back to the guild by Shield bloke, who reveals that the scouting team got killed. Or they disappeared, something happened. And they're mobilizing a big ass team to go fight the boss. And that includes these two clowns. They head into the Floor 75 raid and are met with Skeleton Centipede. Yuck. It fucking insta-kills a bunch of guys, but after a difficult battle, and with the power of love, it does eventually go down. During the aftermath though, Kirito notices something off about Heathcliff, and he fucking just stabs him. Ooh. Yeah, so Heathcliff is Akihiko Kayaba, the lead dev. He's playing as well, on an admin account, and...
It should come as no surprise that I am the final boss on the top floor.
Ooh.
You know, dual wielding is a rare skill, the kind that's only given to the player with the fastest reaction time.
Fucking really? And that's him? There's no like Quake players in here that are faster? It's a fucking 14-year-old? Oi. So anyway, he paralyzes everyone and plans to flee to the top floor, but offers Kirito a chance to duel him. If Kirito wins, the game ends. Everybody goes home. Kirito agrees. Kirito loses, and as he is about to be finished off, Asuna somehow breaks admin paralysis and blocks Heathcliff's swing, and fucking dies.
Now that was a surprise. I'm sure I never programmed a way for players to neutralize their own paralysis. I guess sometimes these things just happen.
No, they don't. No, they don't. Love can't override code. Anyway, he kills Kirito as well, and let's pause here for a moment. What do you think is going to happen? We still have half a season left, we're only on episode 14. Here's what I think. Remember that revive stone that they got from the Santa boss? I think Klein is going to use it on Kirito to bring him back to life. Kirito is going to be pissed that he used it on him and not Asuna. He will then use his grief to fight all the way to floor 100, where he will have his third and final duel against Kayaba. And with the combined strength of all of the friends he has made along the way, they finally defeat him. That's how I would write it. That's probably how you would write it as well. It makes the most sense. Now, I do have to admit something. I haven't been quite 100% honest with you. There was a scene in episode 3 when they got the revive item. I specifically didn't show it to you because on my first viewing of this show, I missed it. I guess I must have blinked. I'm going to show it to you now. Are you ready? Here it is. They left it in the snow! The fucking revive item that can bring people back to life in a fucking death game. They just fucking left it there! In the fucking snow! Okay, so what then? Is it Klein? Is Klein going to step up and reveal that he also has learned a secret combat skill that he will then use to defeat Kayaba and become the underdog hero like Neville motherfucking Longbottom? Kirito comes back as a ghost and kills Kayaba. Kills the head admin of the game. You remember in that one episode when we saw the ghost and I said it would be important later? Comes back as a ghost in a video game and kills the admin.
On November 7th at 2:55 p.m., the game has been cleared. Repeat, the game
Thanks for watching part 1. It's only downhill from here. Hey, do you know how to protect yourself on the internet? If not, maybe you should Google it.
What's the point? Why did you do this?
That's a good question. It's been so long I've forgotten the reason. Isn't that strange? Well then, I should probably get going now.
Okay. Bye then. So anyway, Kirito wakes up, his brain didn't get Zubi zapped, and we join him sometime after the end of the game. We also get to meet Kirito's adoptive sister, Suguha. She's got big tits. This will be important later.
I've been practicing too. Wanna know what?
But don't say that to your brother. Anyway, despite the game ending, around 300 players still haven't woken up yet. Akihiko Kaiba was never found and is considered missing. Everybody assumes that he's still keeping these 300 players hostage for some reason. One of these players is Asuna, who is still hooked up in a hospital. We also meet Asuna's father and, through him, one of the higher-ups in his company, Sugo. Believe it or not, pedophile. He is going to marry Asuna and has her father's full support, and that's more fucked up than whatever Kirito would have done alone in that room. So he taunts Kirito and sets himself up as the villain of this arc, but we're gonna pretend not to know that yet so we can be surprised about it later. Back home, Kirito gets an email from Aegil. That's the merchant guy from SAO. He's got a photo of what appears to be Asuna in a cage. Unfortunately, whoever took it exported it from Photoshop with JPEG quality 1, so we can't know for sure. So Kirito meets up with Aegil to inquire about it, and we see that he owns a bar now. Wow! He slides over a new VR game that has been gaining popularity, Alfheim Online. The A and L are capitalized. This will not be important later.
And combat depends on your real-life physical abilities.
Yeah, as if anybody would play that. We already tried that with the Vive.
Oh, I love you too. Yes, I do.
Also, this never comes up again, nor is it ever an issue. So yeah, apparently the photo we saw earlier was taken in Alfheim Online, on top of a quote-unquote dungeon that everybody is trying to reach. Also, the game is developed by the creep from earlier, so it is probable that that is in fact Asuna and she is in there. Kirito heads home and we see his sister again. She's got big tits. This will be important later. He goes up to his room and prepares to don the helmet once again, which is probably fucking gunky on the inside. He wore it for what, 2 years? He doesn't register himself under a fake name, neither does he choose the least edgy race. He makes sure the logout button is there and discovers that all of his stats and skills from SAO have transferred over, including all of the items. Not to go too deeply into problems that would arise from character data transfer between games, so I'm just gonna say this is horseshit. He does find a custom item that he made though, containing his daughter. Hey, look, there she is.
Daddy.
Ugh.
You're back. It's a miracle.
Yeah, I guess it really is a miracle. I mean, we stopped caring about how code works a long time ago, but anyway. She also finds it out that Kirito's data got transferred over. No, that's it. She doesn't offer like an explanation or anything. And she does a magical girl transformation into a pixie, so that they can sell figurines of her for weeaboos to come on. He fills her in about the Asuna situation and they get moving towards the dungeon. But not before spotting a group of other players in the sky, engaging in open world PvP combat. This twink dies and the girl flies to the ground with 3 bad boys chasing her. Kirito falls in to help her and he easily defeats the other players because of course he does. The girl introduces herself as Leafa. She's got big tits. She offers to buy Kirito a drink for his help, and he sees this as an opportunity to prod some info out of her. So off they go.
You're the only person I know who can handle flying at this speed.
He's so cool. They get to the nearby town and this bitch boy from earlier runs up. I'm not even gonna tell you his name, that's so pointless of a character he is. So here's what's going on in this game. The dungeon where Asuna is located is called the World Tree. Getting to the top of the World Tree is what every player is trying to do right now. The first race to get to the top will meet the Fairy King Oberon, and will be reborn as an even more powerful race. Leafa offers to take Kirito to the World Tree tomorrow, but for now she has to log off. Yeah, nobody's trapped here, people have like school and shit. And we discovered that Leafa is actually Suguha, but I already made the titty joke, so everybody knows. We also see Sugo is actually the Fairy King. Surprise, I know. And he verbally molests Asuna.
But it might be more fun if I just took you by force.
Probably time for another weirdo medal soon. Anyway, yeah, Sugo is using the 300 players that didn't wake up as test subjects for some sort of mind control inception type of spiel. I don't know, I don't care. I doubt the writers did either. So we get some backstory on Kirito's cousin, sister, adoptive sibling type of thing. She actually got into VR games when Kirito was in his SAO coma because, wait for it, she's got a crush on him. Yeah man, remember at the start of the video when I said every single girl gets wet over Kirito? Yeah, that also applies to his sister. What, you thought incest was off limits? Look at this show. Kirito and Suguha meet up again the next day, buy some gear, and make their way towards the World Tree. They also run into her party leader, LARPing as that one guy from Fire Emblem. He's pissed off that Sukuha is, like, leaving the party for a couple of days. He almost fucking murks Kirito because of it. I don't know.
What are you gonna do, though?
As if, Leafa! It doesn't matter where you go. My sword belongs to you and you alone.
I don't need it.
Hope that tier 3 sub was worth it. A while later, as they reach their wings fly limit, Sukuha reveals that the mountain path is too treacherous and they must go underneath through the mines. That was a Lord of the Rings joke. You're welcome. Also, ooh, watch out, someone is tracking them. Under the mountain, Sukuha gets a warning message from her simp, and Yui detects a gaggle of players approaching from behind. Sukuha busts out an elven camouflage that disguises them as a rock. This is yet another Lord of the Rings joke. She then immediately cancels it. Okay. And steps out to shoot the tracking bat we saw last episode. And they book it to an underground town. This place looks fucking fantastic, by the way. The path gets blocked though, and they prepare to fight. Kirito transforms himself into a Baphomet from Ragnarok Online and kills all of them. Fuck it, dude, why not? Even Sukuha is like, oh, it's just illusion magic, the only thing he can do is scare them. But, like, he clearly fucking impaled this guy with a Satan arm. How is he doing this? He never does this again. Nobody ever mentions it again.
In the heat of battle, I'll snap and can't remember a thing after.
Get the fuck out of here. It's like that one guy. What was he? They called me Blackout. I tend to black out and go in full rage mode while in live combat. I have 100+ recorded kills using a pocket knife, and I don't remember one of them. It was fucking Kirito, dude. What a loser. They interrogate one of those guys, but all they get out of him is that something big is happening.
Yui, would you please keep an eye on my avatar? I need to make sure your dad doesn't mess around with it while I'm out.
What the fuck? So it turns out the incel guy from earlier has been spying around and has discovered some like race war drama unfolding. And there's gonna be a whole like clan battle and shit. I don't particularly care, and I doubt you do either. They don't really explore this world enough for me to give a shit, so here's what happens. They go to a meeting thing that the bad guys are supposed to crash, and Kirito solves all of their beef because he's super cool and handsome and smart and cute. Moving on.
Whenever I'm dealt a bad hand, I always raise the pot.
Why? Dude, fucking imbecile.
I'm the one who has to get to the top of the tree. I think someone I know's up there, waiting for me. It's someone I can't reach in real life. But in here, I might be able to.
That's an odd thing to say to people who don't know you're talking about an actual person. They think he has like a waifu up there. He's gonna rub his pecker against an NPC or something. Also, Asuna opens her cage as she was able to spy the lock combination from earlier. Yeah, her cage had an actual code to open it, not like a console command or an admin flag check. This guy specifically spent more time programming a code lock-in just for her to have a chance to escape. She runs into like a back-end brain server room where there are like server engineers playing as slug people doing maintenance. Fuck. She makes it to a console and almost logs out, but gets caught by the slugman.
I don't think it's fair how the boss gets to have all the fun with this cute girl.
She gets locked back up, but manages to snag a keycard on the way back. Yeah, a physical admin item in a video game, because that's never backfired before. Meanwhile, Sukuha accompanies Kirito on his weekly Asuna visit so that she can be sad later. And sad she is, because her brother isn't in love with her. Surely this guy who is not her brother will be a suitable replacement for a love interest.
You're really sweet, you know that?
So they walk towards the base of the world tree, no Morgoth fight, but Yui senses Asuna up in the tree, and Kirito is like, surprised? I don't know, is that not why we're fucking here? And he tries to bash through the player clip, as if that would work. I mean, I guess he does just kinda do whatever he wants without the engine stopping him, so worth a shot. Asuna hears Yui through code magic and tosses the swipe card down for them. Kirito says he will go alone from here. You know, to solo the dungeon that nobody has been able to get past for a year. Yeah. Surprised though, Sukuha flies in and grabs him for whatever reason instead of just letting him respawn. You know, like Mercy players in Overwatch? You're fucking dead in the middle of their team and your Mercy like sprints in to res you just so both of you could die again. No, but she makes it out, gives him a Phoenix down, and he tries to go in again. Sukuha stops him and tells him how much he means to her, and that's super sweet. And Kirito is like, no, sorry, I have to go save Asuna. And she's like, wow, that's weird. That's the name of my brother's girlfriend, and he also wears black and uses 2 swords and has the same voice and goes by Kirito. Ah. Anyway, they cry and they fight and they go back to try the dungeon again, this time with the power of friendship. And I guess those guys they saved earlier helped as well a little, not really. Kirito gets to the anus in the ceiling, but turns out this door can only be opened by admins. Why was there an entire, like, quest thing about reaching the top of the tree that thousands of players tried to do? That leads them to a door into an admin area where they do, like, secret brain fucking research? I don't know. They use the card that Asuna tossed down earlier and gain access inside. They run through the maintenance tunnels and the branches from that one Elden Ring area, you know the one with the ants, and arrive at the top of the tree. Wow, there they are. But watch out though, because here's the fruity fuck himself, Sugo. He gravity magics Kirito to the floor, taunts him for a bit, and then proceeds to strap Asuna into BDSM gear and molests her with his tongue. Anyway, Kirito communes with Akihiko Kayaba through the spirit realm. He blesses him with the admin login credentials, and Kirito banishes Sugo to the Shadow Realm. And by that I mean he fucking what the fuck? He logs Asuna out and gets Obi-Wan by the ghost of Kayaba again. I swear to God, you text me again, I'll bust a nut. He gives Kirito the Seed. It's like a codebase, game engine, that lets amateur developers make an MMO quick and easy. Finally, they found a way to defeat Josh Strife-Hayes. Hey, by the way, are we gonna get more info on Kayaba? Why he created SAO? How his ghost still exists? Okay, bye. Okay, final episode of the first season. Kirito bikes to the hospital to finally meet up with Asuna. In the parking lot, he gets stabbed by a Yakuza gang. I'm kidding, it's just Sugo. Yakuza would have been cooler though. He's straight up about to murder a minor right in front of a hospital, but he misses. Kirito disarms him and almost kills him, but doesn't, because that's not what protagonists do. Asuna finally gets to meet him and everybody is happy. Also, Kirito kisses a mouth that hasn't been watered or washed in over 2 years, so that's kinda fucking disgusting. Cut to like 5 months later. A whale is no more a fish than a horse! Cut to like 5 months later. We see Kirito going to school made for all of the SAO survivors. Because, yeah, most of them have like PTSD from fighting for 2 years straight. You can't just let them out into the wild. You got to indoctrinate them and funnel them into military service. Any country would do that, you know they would.
I was wondering about your dad. Is he okay?
He is, but he's still not over this whole thing. Hopefully Dad can find a hobby and maybe that'll cheer him up.
Cheer him up? He almost married his daughter off to a pedophile. Classic CEO. I bet he wrote a LinkedIn post about this as well. How selling my daughter to the lowest bidder made me a smarter executive. Anyway, everybody meets up in Aegil's bar. There's this whole like, oh wow, check out what these characters you met for 3 minutes are up to IRL shtick. And I know you don't care. Alfheim Online was transferred to another company who chose to keep it running, probably through a ludicrous cash shop and Zinc Code 3, but we do get more info on the Seed thing that Kirito got. They open sourced it and a bunch of people started making their own MMOs with it, so that'll be good for an infinite amount of seasons.
The best part is they were all connected to each other. It's almost to the point where you could create a character in one world, then transfer it to another with all its skills intact.
No. He's describing a metaverse. It doesn't work, it never will. Also, check it out, they added Aincrad to Alfheim and everybody's gonna go play it, hooray! Commercial break.
Ja, gå en liten härlig vandring här. Oh shit! Mikey Jackson! Jävlar! Han moonwalkar ute i skogen! Shit!
YouTuber Uboy. No call to action. No funny face on thumbnail. No Twitter account. Only funny video. YouTuber Uboy.
Ladies and gentlemen, here we fucking go. Any TF2 players watching? Any Overwatch players watching? Any Diabolical players watching? Yeah! Well, get the fuck ready, because this arc is all about shooter games. Like, Call of Duty shooter, though. He's not gonna, like, play Roamer. It's not a good show. Alright, check it out. We're in, like, a virtual bar in the new video game, Gun Gale Online, where a horde of players are watching an interview with 2 esports athletes. A viewer steps up, spouts his manifesto, and fires a shot at the TV. To everyone's surprise, the esports bloke pulls a Newgrounds face and actually dies. Death gun! Here we go again. So it's been a year since the events of Alfheim Online, and hey look, there's Kirito having a meeting with a glowing CIA agent. He fills him in on the whole guy shooting guns at players and causing heart attacks thing, and it's like, hey, you wanna be a super cool spy boy and check it out? And Kirito's like, hell yeah, I wanna be a super cool spy boy and check it out. Also, here's the new main character of this season, Sinon. She's the show's first attempt at making a vaguely complex character, and you know what? Yeah, kinda. She uses a sniper rifle. Surprisingly, nobody complains that her class is overpowered, because bad level design is what makes snipers overpowered, not the weapon itself. You hear that, Overwatch players? I solved your Widowmaker problem, take notes. Sinon is camping out with a player hunter squad, ready to ambush some PVMers.
Wait, are you still in school? Oh, that's kinda hot. You got a report too.
Oh, I don't like that. I don't like that at all. They spot their prey and scope them out. Sinon gets a bad vibe from the cloaked guy in the back, like he might be Russian or something. They begin the attack, and for some reason Sinon shoots one of them before her team is in position. And surprise, the cloaked man in the back was actually the heavy weapons guy.
Gotta find some cover. But where?
Dude, what kind of ambush is this? Their strategy was really just, hey, let's have Sinon snipe one of them, and the rest is just jazz, baby, we'll figure it out. So Sinon runs up to her teammates, leaving her high ground behind. Okay.
Bastards.
That minigun's only got so much ammo to fire. If we attack him at once, he'll panic and burn through the rest of it.
Will he? Or is he gonna post his 500 DPM log on Reddit later? So Brokeback Mustache wants to give up and combat log, but Sinon pep talks everyone into following her plan. She misses her quickscope and squanders the next opportunity. So anyway, Sinon goes and climbs a tall building, while the heavy is just like standing there waiting for her. Yeah. But surprise, she does like a 360 backflip nollie frontside pop shove it stair stab and destroys him. Wow. Also, there she is IRL. Hello. We also check in with the gang who are playing Alfheim Online together. How old is she now? 15? Yeah. Anyway, back to Sinon. Here she is after her school day. She goes off to get bullied by these Ganguro bitches in an alley who try to get money out of her.
We're gonna need about 10,000.
10,000 yen, the fuck is that? 65 euros? How would a high school student even have that kind of money? Anyway, she pipes up and says no, and one of the side alley sluts pulls the burner on her. This actually works because Sinon has PTSD associated with handguns. Yeah, see, I told you, they wrote an actual character. Some guy screams for the cops though, so they stash the heat and run. Some guy is actually introduced as Sinon's friend, Kyoji, voiced by the Black Power Ranger. No, the Asian one. No, the Black Asian one. Yeah. They talk about the gun guild battle Sinon had last night and chat about the game in general, which both of them play. We also learned that Sinon is preparing to enter the next Battle Royale tournament, Bullet of Bullets. Yeah, where the best player in the world gets decided. Kyoji tries to schmooze her up, but it ain't happening, so she goes home. After fucking around with her rubberetta, we learn more about her PTSD, which is caused by her shooting a bad guy when she was little. And yeah, she plays Gun Gale Online as a way to desensitize herself to guns. Kirito informs Asuna that he's gonna go play a different game for a few days, and to do that, he has to transfer his character over. Asuna also reminds him that if he does this, his items will be reset. So yeah, that metaverse idea fell apart quickly, didn't it? Kirito goes to the hospital to play, because, yeah, heart attack gun, it's a smart move, where he meets his nurse, Aki. She was the one who helped Kirito with rehab after his SAO coma. Also, she gropes his ass, which I was gonna overlook, but sexual assault against men is just as serious as sexual assault against women, so no weirdo medal yet, but just know you're very close to one.
Oh, don't be shy. I've seen all your goodies before.
Kirito gets plugged in and enters Gun Gale Online. Upon logging in, he gets assigned a female character model, because that was the only way to stop Sinon from falling in love with him. Hope she's not lesbian. He gets catcalled all the way to being lost, but luckily he spots a lesbian who he can get directions from. Sinon guides him to the local Walmart to buy assault rifles, but he gets a lightsaber instead. Kirito is a fucking pan scout. No, he does actually get a gun too. They go to the shooting range and Kirito aims his gun with his opposite eye. Kirito is a fucking idiot.
Your bullets will hit the target at random inside the circle.
Random bullet spread? In a competitive shooter? Well, at least we know why there weren't any Quake players in SAO. That game's fucking dead, rolling over in its grave right now. Also, Kirito beats a minigame in his first 10 minutes of playtime that nobody has been able to beat before. He also drives a motorcycle that's super hard to drive and nobody has ever... So Garfunkel and Oates arrive at the Battle Royale signups and toss their name into the Goblet of Fuck. They go to the changing room to gear up, and hijinks ensue as Kirito is not actually a girl.
You better make it to the finals, cause I'm looking forward to blowing you.
Anyway, the preliminary bracket matches are 1v1s on a 1 kilometer by 1 kilometer map, and Kirito is up next. He of course wins his first ever match of the game he's never played before, in a genre he's never played before, in a high level tournament running melee only. Back in the lobby, he gets approached by Deathgun, who is apparently a fan, and asks if he's the real Kirito. Also, Kirito remarks that he recognizes this guy from all the way back in SAO, through a mask and a 15-quid Darth Vader voice changer. Deathgun does flash his gang tattoo though, and yeah man, surprise, he's part of that PK guild. Those guys survived and are just like out in the world now. The next episode starts with a flashback to SAO. Look, there's all of our old friends, preparing to raid the PK guild's hideout. A fight breaks out, a lot of people die, some of them surrender, good prevails, etc, etc.
Maybe he's one of the 2 people I killed.
He's not a ghost, dude, relax, stop with the ghost shit. Hey, here's Sinon. She won her match as well. Also, you can see Sinon's ass crack. That's kinda weird. Kirito gets yanked into his next match, and he wins. And then he wins again. And then he wins again.
I can't believe he keeps winning fighting like that.
Preach it, brother. Sinon wins her matches as well, and eventually it's time for the MGE of the century. Kirito against Sinon. She misses all of her shots, distracted by the butterflies in her stomach, and eventually they agree to, like, a cowboy duel instead. She shoots him with a 50 caliber round traveling at 1 kilometer per second, and he cuts it in half. I hate this show. Also, both of them make it to the Battle Royale, I guess. Why would you have a final match of the bracket if both players advance? I don't know, and I'm not going to rewatch the prior episodes to see if they ever explain it. By the way, what is this shelf? It's not tilted sideways, look at the shadow. It's like stairs converted into a shelf. That's fucking rancid. Sinon and Kyoji are chatting on a playground. He makes a move, but he's not Kirito, so it's a bust. She actually lets him down pretty easily, so I'm sure he's not gonna spiral into some sort of incel fury later. That sounds like I'm padding him up to be the villain, but don't worry, he's not Deathgun. Back in the game, Sinon and Kirito meet up in the lobby. Sinon explains the rules to Kirito because he didn't research fucking anything before logging in, and why would he? You think he's gonna lose? He's not gonna lose. Players are dropped into a big ass map. Every 15 minutes, your location gets broadcast to everyone. The last person alive wins. Kirito also asks if she sees any newcomers on the player list who might be Deathgun.
First timers I don't know. Jushi X, Pale Rider, and Sturban?
Oh yeah, Sturban. I heard that guy shit his pants while playing Overwatch. He's probably the killer. Kirito fucking dances around the subject for some reason. He won't just tell her like, hey, watch out, there's an SAO guy out there killing people with his mind. Maybe, like, be careful? I don't know, he's taking that super secret spy boy shit way too seriously. Sinon does ask him about what game he met this guy in, then apologizes and says, never mind, that's personal. And Kirito is like, no, it's okay, but still doesn't answer her. What the fuck? Anyway, here we are in the Battle Royale. This shit spans like 6 episodes, so I'm gonna skip over most of the fluff. And god, there's a lot of fluff. Sinon pushes up to the PewDiePie bridge to kill the cowboy bloke from earlier, who just, like, proned in the middle of the road. How did he win his bracket? Kirito runs up and wants to watch the fight instead of interfering. Cowboy dies to Monkey Boy, then Monkey Boy gets zibby-zapped by a stun gun, and hey look, there's the baddie. He starts to Requiescat Denpachi the guy, but Kirito urges Sinon to fire at him, and so she does. Nice shot. Yeah, Monkey Boy gets heart attacked, Deathgun manifestos for Twitch chat, and fucks off. Kirito tells Sinon the Deathgun is real and is actually killing people. And she's like, wow, that's wild, good thing you warned me after I'm already in here, so they move out.
You said you didn't recognize the names of 3 new players.
In Japanese, the shi in Jushi means death. Get it? And the X could mean cross, like making the sign of the cross. You think?
Yeah, dude, maybe. Or it could be Sterben, you know, the guy whose name means to die in German. Not sure though. After a scuffle with Deathgun, they hide in a cave for the next UAV scan, and Sinon tells Kirito about her bank robber incident. And he's like, hey, I also killed someone, and she's like, wow, we're perfect for each other, and he's like, haha, yeah. Hey, check it out, at the start of episode 11, you can hear the Pyro's air blast noise from Team Fortress 2. Isn't that radical? Also, Kirito looks at Sinon's ass crack and gets startled by it. That's all, just thought you should know. He also figures that Deathgun isn't killing people through the game. There has to be an IRL element to this mystery. Which, yeah, I don't think anyone thought he had like a magic pistol. Kirito theorizes that Deathgun is actually 2 or more people. One of them online to spout his manifesto and do the whole Spiritu Sancti thing. The others IRL, who break into the players' homes and inject them with some sort of drug, causing the heart attack. They get the addresses of players by spying on them when they register for the tournament, because you have to enter your information. And Deathgun does the cross thing to check the watch on his wrist to make sure he fires the gun at the correct time. Yeah, he's right. He got it right. All of it. He figured this out in a cave. With a box of scraps. Also, since Deathgun fired his death gun at Sinon earlier, it's safe to say that there's already a bloke in her apartment. And she can't log off, because then he would kill her for sure. Wow, they're stuck in a game again. Can't wait for next season when they're stuck in a game again. I wrote that line as a joke, but they are actually stuck next time as well.
Until Deathgun shoots you, the guy in your place isn't gonna do anything, okay?
I mean, he could, like, come in her milk. You think he's just standing there? He also says that since Deathgun uses a sniper rifle with a silencer, you can't see the bullet line of his first shot. But earlier, Sinon said that you can't see the line with a sniper's first shot in general, so good job.
The only name you didn't recognize who's still alive is Sturban.
I wonder why he gave himself that name though.
Yeah, what kind of person would use a German word as their online alias? Oh, evidence is starting to pile up. Anyway, Kirito steps out to let the UAV scan him in an attempt to lure Deathgun in. They finally leave the cave after, 2 episodes, and Kirito stands in the open to be a decoy. He concentrates and detects the location of Deathgun's evil aura. Yeah, really. The bullet barely misses him and takes out a building. Yeah, really. Sinan spots Death Gun and takes a shot at him. For some reason, he could see her bullet line before she even fired. Yeah, really. Also, the bullets do this fucking thing? His bullet destroys Sinan's scope, and hers wrecks his whole gun. He pulls out an S-stock, that's a sword, and superhuman speed stabs Kirito with it. Also, Asuna arrives at the hospital room that Kirito's in. Yeah, she's been on a whole side adventure that nobody really cares about. I just have to mention it to set up the next clip.
Sturben? Isn't it supposed to be Steven?
Yeah, isn't it supposed to be Steven?
It's a German word. It's a medical term we use.
Well, you use sterben in a Japanese hospital? What's wrong with Shinu? What's wrong with, hey, this guy is dying? Anyway, we return to Kirito and Death Gun just talking shit. Kirito's like, hey, fuck you, man, I figured it all out. Your gun isn't magic at all. And he's like, yeah, magic gun? What are you, fucking brain dead? So Kirito is actually getting kind of fucked, but he does end up remembering this guy's name and distracts him with it.
Zaza! Red-eyed Zaza! That's you! That's your name!
His name is fucking Zaza? Red-eyed Zaza? This video writes itself, dude. Sinan distracts him as well, and Kirito fucking chops him in half. Holy shit, what the fuck? Oh, now it's time for the final battle between Sinan and Kirito. No, they pull a Hunger Games and that's that. Both of them win. Yeah, really. Sinan wakes up and checks her apartment, but it seems empty. And hey, here's Kyoji with a couple of croissants to celebrate her victory. What a nice guy. So anyway, he tries to kill her. Surprise, yeah, he's the heart attack drug guy. And Stur is his brother. I would tell you about his motives and everything, but they're shit, so I'm not gonna. He's just a generic insane person. Hey, what a perfect moment for Sinan to overcome her PTSD and learn to protect herself. Ah, never mind, here's Kirito busting through the door. He decided to drop by himself instead of sending the police, and he gets pricked in the chest. Yeah, Sinan fucking boomboxes Kyoji in the noggin like it's Monday Night Raw and investigates Kirito's injury. Turns out the needle hit his electrode from the hospital's heart monitor. This show sucks. This show sucks. This show sucks. Cut to, I don't know, vague time in the future. Sinan went to meet up with Alvin and the Bitchmugs, who demand more money out of her. She squares up with her newfound courage, but one of them straight up pulls the toaster on her and fucking squeezes. Safety is on though. Sinan disarms her and shoots a can someone left on an upside down bucket. Littering in Japan is wild, man. Somehow, this puts them in their place and Sinan leaves to get picked up by Kirito. They meet up with Agent Douche, who informs them they've arrested Kyoji and Stur, but they had a third accomplice who's still out there. Watch out for him. Kirito asks if Sinan has some free time, and she says yes, and he drives her to Egil's bar. There, she gets to meet a post office employee and her daughter from the robbery that she stopped when she was little. And that's cute and helps her heal and whatever. But what if she was like, no, I don't have time, I need to go somewhere? Would Kirito have come here alone, like, hey, thanks for traveling from your small faraway town. Have fun going back. End of part 3. Time for commercial.
What's going on, guys? Germa985 here. This holiday season, I've been given the opportunity to tell you about my favorite YouTuber, Ooboy. The funniest man on the platform, the most handsome man on the platform, the cutest man on the platform. Listen, I'm slowly retiring, so you're gonna have a lot of free time on your hands. What are you gonna do? Watch a Fortnite Zoomer rattling their tin can around begging for bits every 3 minutes? No. Ooboy.
Hello, welcome to part 4, which I'm gonna call There's No Main Story Left to Do, so now it's just a bunch of side quests. So here's the deal, in Alfheim Online, there's talk that players figured out how to obtain the Holy Sword Excalibur. Write a joke here about strange women lying in ponds distributing swords, hahaha. A while ago, Kirito and Tsukuha accidentally fell into Jotunheim, where they couldn't fly, and they ran into this Gilgamesh-looking motherfucker. I'm gonna call him Greg. They saved this jellyfish elephant from getting gragged. It grew wings and they rode it out of the dungeon. While flying, they spotted an upside-down pyramid with a golden sword inside it, which they believed to be Excalibur. But they decided to go for it at a later date, and now it's like a race. Did that sound like a shitty summary of an event that was told through a short flashback? Because it was. After asking around a bit, they find out an NPC is actually offering the sword as a reward for a kill X amount of monsters quest. Which is weird because what about the dungeon? They get the gang together and descend into Jotunheim. And hey look, here's the elephant guy. They climb on top and fly off. Suddenly, a strange woman appears. This is Erd, Queen of the Lake. Not an NPC, but another AI. She offers them a quest to save her friends, the elephants, from the Gregs and whatever generic bad guy leads them. Also, it's the bad guy that's giving like a quest with a fake sword as a reward for killing the elephants. and one Norse mythology lore dump later, they get going to the dungeon.
The original Cardinal system had a feature which could automatically generate quests. It would log onto the net and search for various legends and folklore from around the world. Then it would take the stories it found, adapt the data, and use it to generate an infinite number of quests.
If I would have made this video 3 years ago, I would have made fun of this. But fuck man, yeah, this could theoretically work nowadays. So this AI-generated questline is based on the Norse end-of-the-world legend, Ragnarok. Hope I get to do Marvel jokes later. As they battle through the dungeon, Kirito uses some super cool skills that only he can pull off, and all the ladies sploosh. Eventually they find his elven slag, and Klein splooshes. Everybody agrees that it's a trap, and they start moving on.
But even if it is a trap, even if I know it's a trap, I don't care!
Dude, it's okay to be into traps. Relax, it's 2025. He breaks her out, and surprise, it's Freya, and off they go to the next boss.
Who let the flies in?
Bzz, 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 bzz. Oh hey look, it's that In the Mountains guy from Ulduar. Oh my god, finally a World of Warcraft joke. We're like an hour in. So the fight begins and Yui is telling the party what attacks the boss is going to use so they can dodge them. It really is World of Warcraft. She's just a Na'vi version of Deadly Boss mods.
Somewhere in this room, hidden in the plunder, you will find the treasure of my people. It is a hammer made of gold.
It's easy. If he lifts his hand, it will come to... Oh, fuck, I wasn't ready, whatever. Kirito tosses the hammer to Freya, and she turns into Thor. Holy shit, she was a trap. Together they defeat the baddie, and the day is saved. Thor gives them a smaller Mjolnir as a reward, and lets his hammer pull him off. They continue forth, and arrive at Excalibur. But who will be worthy enough to lift the sword out of its resting place? It's Kirito. What, you thought it was gonna be fucking Silica or something? No, it's Kirito. They escape the collapsing dungeon on Elephant Guy, and life is restored to Jotunheim. Hooray! Side quest complete. A year later, we join Kirito's harem at the old SAO house. Yeah, they went and bought it again. That's so cute. Asuna's lamenting how garbage New Year's Eve was with her family, as she got paraded around in a kimono for a week at her father's secret Epstein parties. She also has a bunch of suitors now. Tyrell Wellick Season 1, Tyrell Wellick Season 2, and Jeff. Her father is still trying to marry her off to psychopaths. I don't know what the fuck is going on in this family. And her mother is a bitch too. She's like, your SAO Survivor high school isn't a real high school, they're just commoners. I have friends at this Ivy League school, and you need to transfer there. Anyway, Lisbeth informs Asuna about this dope new player that has been gaining popularity. Yuki. This guy sets up shop by this tree every day to serve a plate of ass whooping to whoever wants a bite. And he's, like, very good. He won against Kirito as well. And by that I mean, of course, Kirito let him win, but we don't know that yet, so shh, quiet. Also, they did this JRPG battle animation. They didn't have to, but they did, and I think it's neat. Asuna is curious about this guy, so she goes to take him on. Also, it's actually a girl. I don't know why they kept showing this boy. Asuna fights her, gets her titty cut open, and is about to lose, but Yuki ends the duel before finishing her off. She borderline kidnaps Asuna and takes her to get crunk with her guild, the Sleeping Knights. Wow, deja vu. Good thing these guys can't die. They want to beat the boss on the next floor, and they want to do it with just their tiny party plus Asuna. For reference, boss raids usually require around 50 players, and there's 7 of these guys, so this is crazy in the coconut. And there's a time limit as well, as come spring, they will be too busy with other stuff to play together. If you feel like they're being vague on purpose because it's a TV show and the only reason to do that is to keep the viewers in the dark, you'd be right. So yeah, they want to get their names engraved on the world first list that's in the starting town. Look at this guy's name. How do you think people refer to him? They just scream? Anyway, Asuna agrees, and after some strategizing, they get going. In the dungeon, they run into these hooligans, who are invisibility cloaked. They say they're just waiting for their friends, which is what every single sketchy guy says when you ask them what they're doing on your street. The gang believes them, I guess, and they go forth. Inside the boss room, they find Doublehead Dave, and it kills them. They actually go over some tactics on learning the boss, like not using expensive items and not resetting so they can see more of the fight. And goddamn, what a breath of fresh air it is to see someone lose for once. Thank fucking God Kirito isn't here. So it turns out Asuna actually recognized the guild those 3 sketchballs were in. They were a scouting party for a raiding guild, and their job was to look out for other players trying the boss and learn the mechanics through watching them. And they actually already did this on the previous 2 bosses this guild attempted. Upon reaching the boss room again, there's a bunch of goons there already, and they're not letting our gang through. Yuki squares up, and they are really good at PvP, but there might just be too many of them to defeat. Luckily, Jesus Christ himself, going by the alias Kirito, shows up, and have I mentioned that I fucking hate this show? Kirito fucking cuts a spell in half with his sword, and even this guy's like,
that's impossible.
Whatever, they cut through these other guys and prepare to enter the boss room once again. They actually win against them pretty easily, so it would have been cool to see them triumph in a larger battle. Too bad the writer had to drag a self-insert character into this shit show so he can jack off about it in bed later. Kirito throws up a gang sign for some reason, and here we are again in the boss room. Of course this time, they win, and Asuna invites them over for the after party. Later on, after exchanging MMO stories, Asuna asks if she could join their guild, and they're like, no. They go to check out the monument, and hey look, there they are. Isn't that sweet? Yuki accidentally calls Asuna sis, and it affects her greatly, so she Alt F4s. Yuki doesn't log in for a couple of days, and this other bird goes to talk to Asuna. She probably went there to answer any questions Asuna has, but then proceeds to dance around every single subject, gives cryptic responses, and then she just logs out. Good. Back at school, Kirito gives Asuna an address where she might find Yuki, because when someone doesn't want to talk to you online, you should find them IRL. Like Sniper Wolf. No, but it's actually a hospital, and in here, they conduct clinical trials for shoving terminally ill patients into VR games. Hooray, these are sad episodes, can't wait to not write a single joke for the next 5 minutes. So yeah, Yuki suffers from AIDS, and spends all of her time in the virtual world, because existing in the real one causes her too much physical pain. Also, remember at the start of part 2, when Aegil mentioned that combat in ALO depended on your physical abilities? Just thought I should remind you. Yuki invites Asuna to the game, they meet at that one tree from earlier, hug it out, and the whole cryptic shit from earlier is explained. People are dying and that's why they're disbanding. Yuki had an older sister she played with that died from AIDS, etc, etc. She also mentions that she always wanted to go to school. And guess what? Kirito is a super genius who's developing a way to interact with the real world from the virtual one. What are the odds? So they strap Yuki to Asuna's shoulder like a parrot to give her the generic high school experience. They even skip math class to go do drugs with the Rastas. That's not what happens, I'm sorry, I just can't stop lying. They also walk around town, check out Yuki's old home, and Asuna vents about her cunt of a mother.
How about you try talking to your mom? If you try telling her how you feel, maybe you'll get through to her.
Yeah? And tell her what? Hey, I want to go to a generic high school and not pursue a university degree and marry someone from a lower class. Oh, why didn't you say so? Come sit down, let's open a bottle of Kinj Marauli and laugh at the pores. I didn't show a lot of it in the video, so you'll just have to trust me that her mother works as a full-time rich cunt. But Asuna goes home to try anyway, and decides the best way to get through to her mother is to show her the virtual world. She refuses. Yeah. Eventually she agrees though, for whatever reason, and Asuna shows her the forest around her SAO house, as it vaguely resembles the forest around her grandparents' house. I don't know what this is supposed to accomplish, as earlier she said,
"You're still ashamed of Grandma and Grandpa, aren't you? You're angry you weren't born into a rich, important family."
But yeah, somehow this works and now her tin mother has a heart. A month or two later, Yuki dies, and I'm yet again skipping over sad scenes. This is a funny video, stop crying immediately. Side quest complete. Part 4 over. Outro commence. My friends, that concludes both Season 2 and sadly this video as well. I would go ahead and tell you about Seasons 3 and 4 as well, but honestly, they're actually kinda good. And I struggled to finish the script before the holidays, so here we are. One day I shall return to the world of SAO to vent some more, but until then, let me play you a funny noise. Here, check it out.